You want to say no, but your mouth says yes, and now you're stuck. What if I told you there's a way to decline that actually makes people respect you more? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily Seed English Podcast, the show designed to help you bridge the gap to fluency. I'm Alex, and I'm joined, as always, by Sophia. Are you ready to plant some new ideas today, Sophia?
I am definitely ready, Alex. But I have to admit, my garden is feeling a bit crowded lately. I've been saying yes to so many things that I'm starting to feel like I'm running out of room to breathe.
That is a very common problem, Sophia. We want to be helpful, we want to be team players, but if we don't learn how to prune those commitments, our growth actually stops.
Exactly. It's that social anxiety, right? You don't want to sound rude or lazy, especially in English when you might not have the fancy words to say no politely. You end up just saying, I'm busy, which feels a bit blunt.
Right. It's like throwing a rock instead of planting a seed. Today, we're going to talk about the art of the soft refusal. We're going to move away from those basic phrases and look at how to protect your time while actually building more respect with your colleagues and friends.
I love that. We're going from I can't to a more professional, empowered no. I'm ready to dig in.
So, Sophia, let's start with that feeling you mentioned, the yes trap. It usually starts when a colleague walks up to your desk and asks, "Hey, can you help me with this report?" And before you think, you say, "Sure."
Exactly. And then 5 minutes later, I'm sitting there looking at my to-do list, feeling completely overwhelmed. It's like there's a mountain of paper on my head.
Overwhelmed. That's a strong word, but a very common one. It means you feel like you have too much to handle and you don't know where to start.
Right, it's that heavy feeling. But Alex, how do I say no without sounding like I'm just lazy?
Well, that's where we use professional language to explain our limits. Instead of saying, "I'm too busy," which sounds a bit like an excuse, we talk about capacity.
Capacity. I've heard that word used for batteries or elevators, like maximum capacity, 10 people. How do we use it for work?
It's the same concept. It refers to the maximum amount of work you can manage effectively. You can say, "I'd love to help, but I don't have the capacity to take on a new project this week." It sounds much more objective, don't you think?
Oh, I like that. It sounds like a fact, not a personal rejection. It's about the system being full. Does it work the same way as bandwidth? I hear people using those two words a lot in meetings.
They are cousins. While capacity is often about your total volume of work, bandwidth is often used to describe your mental energy or time available right now. If someone asks for a quick favor that actually requires deep thinking, you might say, "I just don't have the bandwidth for a deep dive today."
So bandwidth is like my brain's internet speed. If I have too many tabs open, my bandwidth is gone.
Precisely. It's a very modern, professional way to protect your focus. Now, once you've explained your bandwidth or capacity, you need to deliver the actual refusal. But we don't want to be mean. This is where we might need to push back.
To push back? Does that mean I'm literally pushing the person away from my desk?
Not physically, no. To push back means to resist a request or suggest a later deadline. For example, if your boss asks for a report by tomorrow morning, you could push back by saying, "I can certainly get that to you, but with my current tasks, I'd need to push back the deadline to Thursday. Is that okay?"
So it's a bit like a negotiation. You aren't saying never, you're saying not right now or not under these conditions.
Exactly. It shows you are thinking about the quality of the work. But sometimes, Sophia, the answer really does have to be no. Maybe the task isn't your job, or you simply cannot do it. In those cases, you might choose to pass on the opportunity.
To pass on something. Is that like passing a ball in football?
Sort of. When you pass on an invitation or a task, you are politely declining it. You might say, "Thank you for thinking of me for the presentation, but I'm going to pass on it this time to stay focused on my current goals."
That sounds very confident. It's much better than saying, I don't want to do it. But Alex, I always feel bad leaving them with nothing.
And that is the secret of the no sandwich, Sophia. You start with something positive, you give your refusal, and then you offer an alternative.
An alternative? So a different choice or a different plan?
Yes, if you can't do the work, maybe you can suggest someone else or a helpful resource. You could say, "I can't do the design myself, but an alternative would be to use the templates we created last month."
Oh, that makes the no feel so much more helpful. It's like saying, I can't build the house for you, but here is a hammer.
Great analogy. It keeps the relationship strong. However, while being helpful is good, you must remain firm.
Firm, like a hard mattress.
Exactly. If you are firm, it means you are being clear and not changing your mind easily. If you sound maybe-ish, people will keep asking and trying to convince you. Being firm means saying no in a way that shows you've made a final decision.
So I shouldn't say, I think maybe I can't. I should say, I am unable to take on any more tasks right now.
Spot on. To take on a task means to accept the responsibility for it. If you are already overwhelmed, you simply cannot take on anything else if you want to do a good job.
Wow, Alex, this really changes how I look at my calendar. It's not about being mean, it's about being a professional who knows their limits.
Exactly. If you're enjoying these tips on professional English, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave us a comment. We'd love to hear how you handle these situations at your work.
Yes, tell us, what's the hardest thing for you to say no to this week? We're reading all your comments. Wow, Alex, I feel so much more prepared for my next meeting. I think I've been using I'm busy like a broken record, but now I have a whole toolkit.
It's all about those seeds of language, Sophia. Let's do a quick recap for our listeners before we head out. Today we covered overwhelmed, that heavy feeling of having too much to do; capacity, your total limit for managing work; bandwidth, the mental energy or time available right now; to push back, to negotiate a deadline or resist a request politely; to pass on, to politely decline an invitation or task; to take on, to accept a new responsibility; alternative, offering a different choice or solution; and firm, staying clear and steady with your no.
That's a great list. It's funny how being firm actually makes people trust your yes even more.
Exactly. It shows you value your own work. Now, for our listeners, what is one thing you are going to push back on this week to protect your own bandwidth? Let us know in the comments.
I know what I'm pushing back. No more extra coffee runs for the whole office.
A wise choice. That's all for today's episode of Daily Seed. If you found today's seeds helpful, please subscribe to the channel and share this episode with a friend who is also on their English journey.
Keep practicing, keep listening, and remember, every day is a chance to learn better. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye, everyone.